remember somebody mentioning that you could, like, change the color of armor and stuff. I found none of that. Missionary's cookbook. Where is it? I think it's a key item, I don't know. Yeah. Number 5. Sacred Order Pot. Record of crafting techniques left by men who, unable to become a finger maiden, became a missionary. Does this use the other pot? It does. Ritual pot. Throw at enemies to inflict heavy holy... So it's a bigger pot. You just respect when in build for Moonveil Katana. What are some good close quarter spells I'd recommend at 55 hit? I would definitely say Glint Blade is good just because it gets behind shields. Magic Bubble surprisingly does good damage. And it also lingers a bit. So, or Oracle Bubbles, I should say. Magic Bubble is what it was called in the network test. If you happen to have the arcane for it. I think Gravity Well and Collapsing Stars are probably good because they pull stuff towards you if you're basically looking for melee stuff. Slicer is, depending on what weapon you're using, Slicer can give you like if you use the thrusting sword by default, like this will give you a sweep. Great sword is great. It's a little slow. I wouldn't recommend the phalanxes here because the damage is not very high, but the weapon art one on the other hand is great. Downpour can be good, especially if you're PvPing it close, because it's basically gonna hit people. Like if you cast it and they're next to you, they're gonna get hit by a lot of that. Armament and shield are probably gonna be good depending on what you use. I think armament you can't use for that katana. Crystal Burst is slow, but if you can catch somebody with it, it does good damage up close. Like a full charge of it does actually decent damage. Arc and Pebble are just really great. I think Shatter Earth might actually be okay, but it's slow. Like, I wouldn't use it at a distance, but if I can take a hit, I'd try it. These are all not going to do good damage. Yeah, probably those. Yeah, if you're doing close quarter stuff. Rest of the stuff is like long range stuff and costs, you know, you know, you're mostly going to be spending a lot of FP on it. Oh, you know, if you're PvPing, you should probably end up trying Ambush Shard because it hits from behind, like very very quickly too. Same thing with like Night Shard and Comet. These, for how fast they are, they could be good. I'm not sure. I have some other shard thing I thought I picked up that just fires faster, but I don't see it. Maybe somebody was selling it and I didn't buy it. I don't know. The sword spells are at least very fast and do great damage, so you know, I'll recommend those. And whatever Carrion Piercer is now called, and I don't know what it is. The giant lance spell. That was good damage for FP. Especially if you can do it up close and take a hit. So confused with the invasion and summon items. Are you supposed to use the Furled Finger first to get summoned? Do you want to invade or are you trying to get summoned? Like, are you trying to co-op or invade? This dude's got tons. Oh, you're right next to me too. That's not good. Oops. Fat fingered a bit. Oh, it's a crucible dude. Oh, that's scary. Okay, just one shot me. That's cool. You gonna get someone to help people? There's two items for that. One puts your sign down on the ground, but the better choice usually is the one that puts your sign on a pool. Hey, Sovereign. Was the Jarvis build mage? No, Jarvis was the crit build for the most part. There was a Dex Int Jarvis build, but that was not the the final version of Jarvis. Well, the Dark Souls 3 version of Jarvis was a Pyromancer. Mostly. A mix of crit builds and basically hybrid Pyromancer. I bet if I'm really great with Rock Sling, I probably could knock him over. Knock him off the ledge. Just gotta cast very quickly. Well, that was the Xbox 360 version of Jarvis. The original version of Jarvis was a Dex Int build with Velkas. And the Dark Souls 3 one was a whole other animal. Oh, damn, I'm just so high on this guy. Come on, man, not through the fucking walls. Cheesy shit. Oh, I'm super dead here. Sovereign, this opens up. This particular section opens up after a boss fight. So yeah, so Jarvis is effectively 3 builds, but people only really knew the Hornet Chaos Rapier one. But that wasn't the whole of it, no. Man, this boss is ridiculous. Or this, not even boss, this regular dude. You coming or not? Somber 6. I think the funny thing about the way I built Jarvis is that the Dark Souls 3 version is my favorite by far. by like, leaps and bounds. It was such a good, strong build. I think there's a place would be a sniping spot, right? Is the area I'm in accessible through the Sophia elevator? No. It's close. It's like... It's a similar... Here we go. Similar entry. Hold on, what group am I in? I'm in more than one, I think. Where's the setting for this? Network. Oh, it's on the right. So yeah, somebody is using my group. And somebody's been going through crushing stuff, it seems. Wonder how many people are using the password. Order healing. Alleviates death blight buildup. One of the incantations of the Golden Order Fundamentalist, used by hunters of those who live in death. The noble gold mask lamented what had become of the hunters, how easy it is for learning and learnedness to be reduced to the ravings of fanatics. All the good and the great wanted, and their foolishness was an absolute evil to contend with. Does such a notion exist in the fundamentals of order? It's funny finding all these references to Gold Mask, and I found a character who I thought was Gold Mask, but I can't interact with him in any way. A lot of places to explore here. Not targetable. Inner order. Is this that what was it? Will Smith pose? Where he was like isn't there like a meme where he's pointing shit out and it's all dramatic? Am I misremembering the pose he was in? I could swear it was something like that. Oh, no, no, backwards. Ah, god damn it, I wanted to say yes. I wanted to say good message. He's crouched over, Let me take a look. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm thinking he's not hunched. He's not crouched over. A little hunch maybe. But yeah, arms are further out. Yeah, for me it's like whenever like the okay and cancel are your choices. In my head, it's always like okay is in the bottom right corner, and then cancel is like inward towards the center. Yeah, oh no. Not another gargoyle, please. Well, considering I fought them, I'll probably be fine, and I can summon, so... Oh, you don't have a lot of HP. You're weak. Ooh, nice miss. Oh, it figures. Doing this again, are we? Oh yeah. Twin Blade one I'm most worried about. Good old FromSoft. This won't be super hard. Just need one good solid run here and I'll be fine. Don't know where my runes went. Skeletons, help me. Both my skeletons are dead, I'm just realizing this now. I'm on like a timer now. Find only one summon you like, and that's because it unlocks from range. The skeletons are normally fine. I like them a lot. It just they happen to die. I feel like maybe I didn't even summon them and I just thought I did. Ooh, that's this problem. One will be dead in a minute, I hope. That's a mistake. I shouldn't have done the other casts. I've got to do Physic early. Get that first gargoyle out of the way. Just boost my magic damage a bunch. Still hits. That's a concern. Probably gonna die soon. Yeah. Gargoyle Greatsword. Twin Blade. Man, is there such thing as a colossal twin blade? Bronze greatsword wielded by valiant gargoyle. Just like the wielder, the missing parts have been mended with corpse wax, a patchwork of champions. Vacuum slice. Lost skill of ancient heroes. Hold the armament aloft to surround it with a shearing vacuum, then launch it forwards with as a blade-like projectile. This is not a unique skill. Spinning slash. Yeah, that's on a lost one. So, vacuum slice is a thing I could look into. That's sea coffin. Huh. 32,000 runes. Spinning slash. Where's vacuum slice? Oh, maybe it is unique. I can't remove it. No, this is the twin blade. Where's vacuum slice in the list? Let's put anything on there to see if... I think it is built into the weapon. Yeah. Alright, well. That's fine. There's a coffin. Yeah, they actually did want a coffin. This is reminiscent of Dark Souls 2. Is there a Nestle? No, it says rest. It doesn't say Nestle anymore. It returns. Our skeleton's gonna transport us? No, it's just enchanted. Well, this is interesting. Maybe we'll go to that one super high up place where, the one dude was. That the dude was praying to. The Lord of Blood or whatever? If it happens to be Nara Alma, it's gonna be great. There was like in Dark Souls 1, in their defense, there was like 3 viable spells at least. It wasn't just homing Crystal Soul Mist or homing anything. Dark Souls 2 had a lot. Dark Souls 3 had a bunch. I would say like a quarter of stuff was useful in PvP in Dark Souls 3. In this game, I feel like most spells will come up in PvP in some way. Wait, where does it think I am? Unknown underground location. Cool. Is that... Is that really... Yeah, it is. Whoa. It's not even a... It's the funny thing is this is not even a boss. This is just regular dude. More than one set this time. That would have one-shot me. Glad I got the horse. Oh no, they're just doing it twice. $10,000. Staff of the Avatar. Colossal weapon. Ceremonial staff depicting the Earth Tree in its historic radiance, wielded by the Avatars who protect the minor Earth Trees. The Avatars, emerging in the wake of the Elden Ring shattering, were determined to protect the withering Earth Tree's offspring. Jump up high into the air and crash down into the ground ahead. The resulting pratfall sends golden shockwaves in all directions. This is the most powerful of all the ground slam skills. I would say probably like 50% of all the spells in this game have some melee application. And the ones that don't are just crap for everything. Or not melee application, PvP application. The only ones that aren't are probably going to be like Crystal Barrage and the stuff that just doesn't do any damage for anything. Stuff that like doesn't have any utility or damage. But the funny thing is Crystal Torrent, on the other hand, I don't know if this is good for PvP or not, but damn, like if you can just shove FP into that, it does good damage. Alright. Horse does not turn into a dime. So these are the roots of... Actually, where am I? I think this is the roots of the Erd Tree itself. This is under it. Golden Land. Golden Land. Thrust armament into the ground, then gather strength to unleash a blast of sacred energy that coalesces into golden darts. Follow up with a strong attack to swing the armament in a sweeping strike. Yeah, so this is Great Axes Warhammers and Colossal Weapons. No, it's not basically the Wrath spell. It's not just this is the spell that you bash it into the ground, creates a shockwave, and then darts come out. It's the one that the whatever the name of the dudes are. The avatars use. What is going on here? Is this supposed to be water? I think something may not have loaded texture-wise for this surface. Maybe like some sort of like jizz sap or something, I don't know. It's milk. Of course it's milk. Oh man, oh, it's on the other side. I was gonna say I had to get an item, but I'll go from the other side here, if it lets me. Soapy water, yeah. Soapy water works. Milk. Everybody thinks I pronounce milk weird. I don't know why suddenly that gets my head in a different space, but mispronouncing milk and saying vitamin R has got my head spun, not into The Simpsons, even though that's a reference. There was a local, back in Michigan, I can almost get up there. There was a local place back in Michigan called Mena's Joint, and they served these potato burrito wrap things. And some twist of how I'm thinking about this whole scenario has made me want those now. Armor seems to have a reasonable effect. It's still absorption as it always was in Dark Souls 3. I just think maybe the values are higher. I would be surprised if absorption follows different math. Now, flat defense, on the other hand, I thought there was something here. They changed something? I don't know. How big must that be if I can't reach it from here? I do not want to be here. Find armor to be useless? Um, bear in mind, armor also stacks with your shield, so even if you're getting shot through your shield, um, you're going to get additional damage reduction with that. So, like, if you're fighting stuff that has, like, if you have very high resist to everything, or very high absorption for everything, and you still get hit with a magic attack, like, that will give you benefit from that. But, no, I mean, if you're... I think a chunk of it is that you're... In order to take a hit, you have to have really, 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 really high absorption for PvE. PvP, though, I think is going to be... You're going to get a lot out of it, regardless. Don't use shield's power stance only? I wonder what the stat requirement is now. I thought it was just the requirements of the weapon itself. Oh man, now I wish I had bubble. Selecting the armor that brought your defense higher in the menu and raising them keeps you from getting one shot. Yeah, I think I have not seen a scenario where armor wouldn't help. It's just if you have no health whatsoever, maybe. If I could fit extra armor, I would. Because it'll help. But I also invested almost nothing into Vigor. I've got only 20 so far. Oh, well, Dark Souls... No, 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 no. Dark Souls 1 has a different formula than Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, so... You can't compare Dark Souls 1 to those. Dark Souls 1 works differently. A lot differently. Dark Souls 1 basically is like if Dark Souls 3... If all armor in Dark Souls 3 just gave you a flat defense rather than absorption. And Dark Souls 2's defense is... Their formula is horrendous. Dark Souls 2 is like... Every 1,000 defense gives you... I think it's 100 damage reduction. Just 100 AR, like, flat. Did I stutter? I saw, drops in frames, I think.
Oh, Lord Godwin. Such cruelty. Such humiliation. Oh, my poor, sweet lordling should have died a true death. As the first of the demigods to die. As a martyr to destined death. But why must it yet bring such disgrace? A scion of the Golden Bough, sentenced to live in death. How could such a thing come to be? Oh.
I don't know, Sovereign. It's not going to keep a solid 60, if that's what you're asking. Not on my computer.
Oh my. A scion of the cold.
Hold on a sec. Are they suggesting that Godwin's down here, and this is the... Is it... I wonder, is it possible that the area that's underground, that they say that this thing was buried under the roots? Where is it? Where's the talisman? As first head of the demigods, it said he's buried deep under the capital, at the Earth Tree's roots. I kept thinking Stormvale is the capital. This is the capital. This is... Godwin could be down here, still alive. I thought that corpse... I thought the thing... under Stormville, that giant monster there, and the face was Godwin. The visage of Godwin, maybe. But Godwin might actually be down here somewhere. Which means I better level up. Spend as many runes as I can. No, it's not a fake capital. It's just Stormwind is not the capital. Stormvale. Jeez, Stormwind. Stormvale is not the capital. It's just Godric trying to posture and shit. 30 mind. So, theoretically then, I don't know how to get to Godwin. But Godwin apparently still yet lives and is potentially around here somewhere. Is that going to me? Oh. That's a perfumer. I think. No. It's a broken gargoyle, I think. Oh no, these are here. Basilisks. Once again. I saw a few earlier. When Patches kicked me down, because that's Patches. That's his thing. I wonder if they still have the small eyes as well. Yeah. Oh, even the mouth ragdoll now. You know, I actually don't see the small eyes this time. Wait, I got it. I see it, yeah. They're just really... You can see it right next to the mouth. Where the real eyes are tiny. Deep root depths. Wow, yeah. So, all these underground areas are not quite as big as the overworld, but they're still pretty big. Alright. Vacuum Slice. Okay, so this is... Vacuum Slice is the one that the sword had. Small and colossal axes accepted. On swords and axes. This ash of war grants an armament of quality and falling skill. Another another projectile skill would be good. Yeah, there's a bunch of gargoyles here. Something has been tearing them apart. Trying to find... There you are. There's so much to explore here. It's a dude. It's one of those headless dudes.